All right, guys, how's everybody doing? NASCAR's weekly news report for August the 7th. Boy, do we have a lot of talk about this week. Watkins Glen was crazy. It was a great race, but it was crazy. Before I get started, just want to tell everybody, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and for the news for the weekly news reports and the Pick 5 contest and stuff. So do that. But before we get to the news, I'm going to show you guys what I got at the flea market this week. I found this very cool 1980 Darrell Waltrip Gatorade car. Paid $3 for it. It's in actually really good condition. I mean, it's got some scrapes here and there. See, but I needed this car for my collection, and I seen it sitting there, and I was like, I figured a guy would have said $10 or something, or maybe even more than that. He said $3. Like, okay, no problem. So got that took care of. But anyway, let's get to the news, what everybody wants to hear this week. And I got my take on Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace and Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Blaney. I got my takes on that. But the number 96 car was from the Cup Series, was hit with a $10,000 lug nut fine. And the NASCAR suspended two members of the number 2 truck in the Craftsman Truck Series. I don't know why, but they did. But anyway, let's get back to the real thing what we want to talk about this week. And of course, it's the big deal is Kyle Rowdy Busch. Kyle got a little rowdy this weekend at Watkins Glen. But I think the other people said, hey, we're going to get Rowdy back. First of all, when the race started, Kyle Busch got underneath William Byron down turn 1. And I think Kyle tried to keep from hitting him and spun himself out. Well, that pissed Kyle off. And whenever he done that, going into that short streak, Kyle thought he would hit him in the S's there. He gave him a little butt behind, knocked William in that grass, and lucky William didn't tear his car up. I mean, he's really lucky that it didn't mount up. But Chad Knaus gets on the radio, tells him to go ahead and hit Kyle back. So he's coming through there. So William Byron runs in the back of Kyle Busch and actually hurts himself worse than he did Kyle. It just put a little scrape on Kyle's car and tore Williams' front end up. But anyway, Williams upset with that, and I thought that was, in my opinion, Kyle's frustrated. He wants to win, and he gets frustrated. He gets mad, and I just think that he should have been a little more patient with William there. William didn't do anything wrong when Kyle spun out, so I'm taking up for William Byron there. I mean, you kind of have to. But that what they're saying, Chad Knaus is pissed. And you normally don't see Chad Knaus pissed, but he's had a rough 2 years of racing here. So, he's getting a little frustrated himself. But the incident with Bubba Wallace and Kyle Busch. Now, Kyle's flying. Of course, he's a lot faster than Bubba Wallace because Richard Petty Motorsports is way off. I mean, they're way off. I bet Kyle was probably 2 seconds faster per lap than Bubba Wallace. But Kyle pulled over, and Bubba kind of went to block a little bit, and Kyle hit him a little bit in the side. So they go down the front straightaway, and Bubba just turns him completely around, wrecks him. So I look at that as fair game, But whenever they did come off the final turn there, Bubba did kind of push Kyle down towards the wall. So I don't know. I look at that as just a racing accident. I don't really take sides on that part. I feel frustration from Bubba because he knows, and I think everybody else knows, he probably won't be back in that car next year. It'll be surprising if he is. But it don't matter who they put in that race car. It's going to be horrible. And I'll be surprised if Richard Petty Motorsports is around in a year or two. I mean, they are just so slow. And that's what's frustrating Bubba. He's a good driver. He just don't have a good car. And so I look at it that way. You guys tell me what you think. Comments below with that. Now, Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Blaney. I reckon Ryan kind of hit him there in the last few laps of the race. Run into him a little bit. Say rattled his cage, as Dale Earnhardt would say. And Jimmy got mad. And Jimmy got out of the car and he told Ryan Blaney he was scared that Ryan was scared of him. Well, Brian Blaney said, hey, let's go. Let's do it right now. and then Jimmy backed off. So that was just that's more frustration out of Jimmy Johnson. He's trying to do more than what he's capable of doing. 10 years ago, he could do it. Nowadays, it's a whole different story. A crew chief ain't going to save him. It ain't going to save his season. And it ain't going to save his career. They're just plainly struggling. Because Chase Elliott, William Byron, all them guys have fast cars in Hendrick Motorsports. And Jimmy's qualified decent, but he just didn't have the race speed. But with that incident, that was just another racing incident. But Jimmy's going to have to watch who he gets out and starts talking about, because, you know, somebody's going to be liable to lay him out one day if he talks to the wrong person. But with that being said, yeah, it was a great race. But that's a lot of news. Like I said, a lot of news to talk about this week with these fights and stuff. A buddy of mine, Thor Self, done a video on who was the new kings of road course racing. Well, it's obviously Martin Truex and Chase Elliott. I mean, they've won the past 5 out of the last 7 road courses or something. I mean, it's just amazing. Martin had the Roval one until he got turned around by Jimmy. But yeah, with that news being said, let's head to the series here, and let's go to the standings. Now, this is big here, guys. We're getting near the cutoff line playoffs. Joey Logano is 13 points behind Kyle Busch. Now, we're talking 15 points on the line here, bonus points for after this regular season champion here. So, them 13 points is huge. Kevin Harvick's 74 out. It would take a lot of luck, I think, with the less races we got to catch Joey and Kyle. Denny Hamlin's 80 out. Martin Truex is 98 out. Luck with them too. It takes some luck. Other than that, everybody else is out of the chance to win the regular season championship. You know, Chase Elliott with that good run moved him back up to 8th place in the points. Eric Almirola is hanging tough at 9th. Hanging in there. Eric Jones, 13th, even though he ain't won a race this year. He's the kind of guy that's been finishing top 5 about every week. So, he could be a guy that could sneak in these playoffs and advance a round or two. Kyle Larson's hanging in there, 14th. He's got a pretty good little margin right now over Jimmy Johnson. About 30, 40 points, something like that. So, he's got to be consistent. Next few races, run consistent, finish top 10. Don't put himself in the position. Chad Johnston messed him up again. Kyle Larson again this week. Because they made that pit stop and got him way behind. He could never catch back up. But between Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman, who are tied for 16th, Daniel Suarez is only 23 points behind them guys. He could sneak up there and steal that spot. That could happen. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who gets in the 16th spot there. Paul Menard's hanging in there in 19th. I just don't see him with the speed. Ricky Stenhouse wrecks every week. Can't put him in there. Austin Dillon, though, he just ain't got the speed. Matt DiBenedetto's got a good running car. He just needs a win. He's too far behind in the points to get in the top 16, so it'll take a victory for Matt DiBenedetto to get in there. But he's capable of doing that. Bristol coming up. He runs good there, finishes top 10. He is capable of possibly sneaking in a win there. So, that's my take on the point standings. Yeah, just a crazy weekend. And if you guys haven't seen the William Byron's throwback car to Darlington, go check that out. That's really cool. It's going to be like Days of Thunder throwback. Really cool car. Bubba Wallace will be in the 43 Victory Junction game. Throwback Adam Petty car. Really cool. Well, we'll see what's going to go on this coming week here. Michigan. I think Kevin Harvick's going to be tough to beat. Putting Harvick up there, so we'll see about that. Yeah, tell me, guys, what you think in the comments below about some of these guys. Was Bubba Wallace right? Was Kyle Busch right? Was Jimmy Johnson right by saying what he did? Also, remember, check out Righteous Redneck, Thor Self, Shiny Knife. A lot of great channels out there. And remember to subscribe to this channel. And let's keep this thing rolling. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks to everybody that's entered these contests and stuff. It's been fun, and it's been good doing this weekly race report here. So we'll keep doing this, and I hope everybody has a great week. I'll have the Pick 5 contest video out here soon, and it'll be fun, guys. So remember to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys later.